Hello everyone, this is Helbo. Today we're here for a showcase and guide on Jinhsi, where I'm going to be explaining to you how you're going to play her, what builds you're going to use on her, the rotation as well as the team you want to get for her. Jinhsi is the biggest nuker of the game. She's extremely good. She also has some pretty decent team that you can get as a free-to-play. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so let's get started with Jinhsi's kit. First glance, her kit can be a little bit complicated, but when you look a little bit more into it, it's actually not that hard. You're going to be doing a few auto attacks and then the rest is going to be around the skill. So you're gonna start with 4 auto attacks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you see this gets triggered. You activate it and you enter another state. Whenever you're into that state, your auto attacks are once again going to be different. So once you're in there, Jinhsi is going to be attacking like this. And after again 4 auto attacks, it changes and you're like this. If you use it, it's going to do this massive nuke attack using the dragon, using Hui. And so this is really where her damage is going to be at. That last nuke with Hui is going to be most of the time dealing massive damage, sometimes hitting in the 200k damage. So now let's just demonstrate using this one. I am going to just showcase the entire combo that you can do. So we start with the 4 auto attacks, then we use this. You can follow up with the first skill, then use your 4 auto attacks, and then you use the nuke with the dragon. There you go. And then this is pretty much the end of the combo. For the ultimate, it's going to be pretty much just a big nuke damage. It's just going to do this, that's it. It also obviously does AoE damage just like you just saw, but this is essentially what the ultimate is going to do. Something that you can note that is also good is that while you're doing your 4 auto attacks to get the skill change, you can still use the skill. For example, you can start with this and then you do your 4 auto attacks. Then you get the skill change, you do this, you use the first skill, then you use the 4 auto attacks, you get the skill change, and you use the big nuke, and you dealt most of it. I will now be going back more into the Forte Circuit later into the video, where I will be demonstrating how the Forte Circuit works. But for now, as the kit breakdown, this is going to be the end for this. I'm going to explain how the Forte Circuit works. So right now you're seeing this, it is already showing you how much you have on your Forte, but right now you cannot use it as of now. You see, like if I do the E, it does not work. So what you need to do is you need to do first your 4 auto attacks to get the skill change. You switch and then you see this changes and this is when you can use it. But to use it, you need to again do your 4 auto attacks. Then it's going to be triggerable and then you do the big nuke with the dragon. The more of the Forte you have stacked up, the more damage it's gonna deal. Right now I have the S2 activated, so the Forte completely restacked instantly after 4 seconds. If you do not have the S2, it's going to stay down and it's not going to be recharging by itself. What you're going to be doing so that it can restack is you're going to be doing coordinated attacks or auto attacks with some other characters. For every auto attack, it is going to be recharging you 1 stack every 3 seconds for each character performing auto attacks. So you get 1 stack every 3 seconds. And for the coordinated attacks, it is 2 stacks every 2 seconds. You might be thinking that 3 seconds is a lot, but then you look into Jinhsi's kit and her outro skill makes it that when you use the outro skill, all the allies gain eras in Unity. They will be providing Jinhsi with 1 stack for every 1 second, and this lasts for 20 seconds. This is how you're going to be lowering the time needed to gain 1 stack, meaning that now whenever you're going to be doing an auto attack and coordinated attack, every 1 second you're going to be getting 1 stack per auto attack and 2 stack for coordinated attack. This is how you're going to be refilling this quickly enough as much as you can by playing with the other characters. But you do need to trigger the outro skill, so do not switch onto your other characters if you do not have the outro skill. Now, one way to get the outro skill quickly out is not by getting the concerto effect fully charged up. You're going to be doing this, and then you're going to be triggering the nuke. And what this is going to do is that it is going to trigger an effect that is going to allow you to switch onto another character using their intro skill and using Jinhsi's auto skill without having the concerto energy completely full. So this is something to keep in mind. You do need to use the auto skill, and in order to get the auto skill out quickly, you do not need to charge this, you just need to do the nuke quickly. Now for Jinhsi's kit, let's see what we're going to want to build her with, what weapon you want to equip, and the echo set you want to go for, as well as the substats. I will be going over the Forte Circuit, what you want to increase in her aptitude, and also the sequences later in this. Alright, the first weapon you want to go with for Jinhsi is going to be her best in slot, which is a signature weapon, Ages of Harvest. It is going to provide some crit rate on the substat and some flat damage. What the weapon is essentially going to do is that it's going to be granting 12% attribute damage bonus, as well as when you do cast your intro skill, it gives the equipper Ageless Marking, which grants 24% resonance skill damage bonus for 12 seconds, and when you cast the resonance skill, it gives the equipper Ethereal Endowment, which grants 24% resonance skill damage for 12 seconds. This is our best in slot, but in case you do not want to go for her weapon, or if you do not have the resources, there's a few other options you can go for that are also very good for her. The first one is going to be Verdant Summit. This is obviously Jian's signature weapon. It is going to also provide you with some attribute bonus damage, and every time an intro skill is used or Resonance Liberation is cast, it increases the heavy attack damage bonus by 24%, stacking up to 2 times. This is a good weapon for the main crit damage stat as well as the attribute bonus damage, but you're not going to be beneficiating from the intro skill and Resonance Liberation cast bonus with a heavy attack, because you do not really use heavy attacks that much with Jinhsi. So this is not going to be a waste, but at the same time, it's just not going to be the best thing for her. So if it's not really what you want to go for, there might be some other options you can consider. The next weapon you might want to consider is also going to be Lustrous Razor. This one is the standard 5-star weapon. It increases the energy regen by 12.8%, and when the resonance skill is released, it increases the Resonance Liberation damage bonus by 7%, which will be stacking 3 times and last for 12 seconds. You use a lot of skills with Jinhsi, you're going to be getting the 3 stacks pretty quickly, so this is a very good option. I might even say that this might be probably better than Verdant Summit, essentially for the Resonance Liberation damage, but this is up to discussion. Both weapons are essentially really close to each other. Now for the 4-star weapon, so the first one is going to be the Broadblade number 41. This weapon provides some energy regeneration, and when the Resonator's HP is above 80%, it increases the attack by 40%, while when the Resonator's HP is below 80%, it restores their HP by 10% for dealing basic attack damage or heavy attack damage, which can be triggered 1 time every 8 seconds. The second 4-star weapon you might want to go for is Helios Cleaver. This weapon provides an attack percentage stat, and whenever within the 12 seconds after resonance skill is used, it increases the attack by 6% for every 2 seconds and stacking up to 4 times. This effect can be triggered 1 time every 12 seconds, and when the number of stacks reaches 4%, all the stacks will be reset within 6 seconds. This weapon, if you have it rank 5, this might be the best way to go with, but this is still a really good weapon to go for. And the last 4-star weapon we will be covering is going to be the Battle Pass weapon, Autumn Trace weapon. So this weapon, you get it in the battle pass. It increases the attack by 4% upon dealing basic attack damage or heavy attack damage, and it stacks up to 5 times. It lasts for 7 seconds and can be triggered 1 time for every 1 second. It is also going to be providing you with some crit rate, which is definitely something you might want to consider for your build. Now the echo set you want to target is going to be the Celestial Light. This is going to be Jinhsi's best in slot Sonata effect. If you do not have a full Celestial Light, but you do have some lingering tune, you could go for this, but on the long run, Celestial Light is going to be the best. The 4-cost echo you want to go for is going to be Hui is the new echo that just got released. So this is going to be her best in slot. If you do have Jinhsi's weapon, I would recommend going for some crit damage, since the weapon already provides you with crit rate. So this would be better to go for some crit damage on this, but if you prefer to go for some crit rate, feel free to do so. Now the substats you want to target for all of your echoes are going to be the resonance skill, resonance liberation is going to be crit rate, crit damage, resonance skill, resonance liberation damage, and some attack percentage. Why you want to use Ray is because it is going to be dealing some pretty good damage, and it also increases the resonator resonance skill damage. So you use a lot of the skill for Jinhsi, so this is going to be boosting your damage even more. So this is definitely something you want to consider for your Jinhsi. As the 3 cost echo, we usually go for the 2 elemental bonus damage, but for Jinhsi you might actually go for some attack percentage bonus, and the last 2 1 cost echoes are going to be some attack percentage as well. Now for the skill ascension, the first one you want to target is going to be the Forte Circuit, as well as then the resonance skill, resonance liberation, normal attack, and intro skill. You do want to go and get all of those as fast as possible, as this is going to be helping you getting a lot of damage. Now for the sequences, like you're seeing right now, my Jinhsi is actually S2. Little disclaimer, this is absolutely not mandatory. You do not need to have any sequences, any dupes on Jinhsi. It's just that me, I'm going to be a huge main of Jinhsi. I'm going to be playing her a lot. I really love her character design. I essentially really like everything about her, so I wanted to get some dupes. But let's just go over this. Essentially, if you want to low invest on your Jinhsi, it is going to be the S1, which is going to provide you with an additional 20% damage bonus on all of your skills. And then for the S2 is that she is going to be recovering the incandescence. So this is the Forte that you get while staying out of combat for more than 4 seconds. Now, I don't know if this is translation error or something, but when I first read this, I thought that it was essentially off field, meaning that if during the fight I switch on another character, she was going to be recovering 50 incandescence after 4 seconds being out of combat. But it seems that everyone needs to be out of combat because you do not regain the 50 incandescence after the 4 seconds. So in case you are considering getting the S2 for this, just know it does not work like this. You need to really be out of combat, meaning that they all need to be out of combat. They cannot be fighting, otherwise she will not be recovering 50 incandescence. I don't know if this is a translation mistake or if this is a bug or something, or maybe it is just how it was intended to be. I feel like this is pretty misleading. If I had known this, I probably would not have went for the S2, but it's just something to keep in mind. All of the rest are also really good, but these two, more like the S1, I would say are the ones to go for. S2 is really optional, but then if you do want to go and get them, obviously you can. For the team, you're going to have around 3 options. The last one probably being the worst one, but actually still did pretty decently, so keep that in mind. But obviously you're going to use Jinhsi. For the support, the one we are going to stick with is Verena. Verena as of now is still the best support right now, and she also has some coordinated attacks, so this is really good for Jinhsi. Now the sub DPS, the best in slot is going to be Yinlin. I did not pull for Yinlin, and I do not regret not pulling for Yinlin because I actually just prefer playing Yanwu than Yinlin, but it is going to be her best in slot for Jinhsi. Yinlin provides some really good coordinated attacks, so this is going to be helping you get her Forte back up really quickly. Now if you do not have Yinlin just like me, the one you want to go for is Yanwu. Yanwu has some really good coordinated attacks, so this is going to be really good for Jinhsi. But it's just in case you do not have Yanwu, you can go for Mortify. Mortify has some good coordinated attacks, as you just see here, and obviously I'm pretty sure you already know about Mortify by now, but if you do not know about Mortify, I've already released a showcase video of him, so feel free to go and check that one out. But Mortify provides some coordinated attacks. Unfortunately, you will not really be able to trigger them with Jinhsi since you need to be using heavy attacks, so keep that in mind, and you will more likely be triggering them with Mortify, which is going to be increasing his on-field time. So unlike Yanwu, you can just like put down your pillar and then switch back to Jinhsi, and it's going to be doing the coordinated attacks. Yinlin is still better for Jinhsi Jinhsi because she does trigger more coordinated attacks faster than Yanwu, but Yanwu has been working perfectly fine for me until now, so it's just something to keep in mind. Let's go now over the rotation you want to do with your Jinhsi, how you're going to rotate all of your characters and how you're going to do as much damage as possible. I have the S2 activated. This is going to be the same for you. I'm going once again in difficulty 2 to not be bothered too much by the crownless, but let's get into it. So you're gonna start and you're gonna want to get the outro quick enough. The best way would be, if you do not have the S2, it's to get this quickly enough charged, so maybe before you go into the fight you charge it. Then whenever you do, because right now this will not be full unless you fill it out beforehand, but if you do not fill it out beforehand, this is going to be not entirely full. I am going to get it empty so that I can really show you how it's going to be done. So let's say now you're just getting the outro skill, so you trigger the outro skill, you go onto Verena, you're going to get your concerto energy out, use the ultimate, which is going to trigger the coordinated attacks, the echo skill, then you switch onto your other characters for the coordinated attacks. Yanwu, you just need to use the E and then you can switch out because it is going to be performing the coordinated attacks. But you can also use the ultimate to deal more damage and also applying a shield. And then you switch back into Jinhsi. You see this started being recharged. You're going to keep doing your attacks. You're going to use the nuke and this is going to do the big nuke and destroying the enemy. So this is the rotation. You're first going to get the concerto energy charged out. You switch onto Verena. You do your attacks, you get your concerto energy charged at as well. If you can, you use her ultimate to get the coordinated attacks. Then you use the echo skill. You go into Yanwu, same, you put this down. If you have your concerto energy, then you can already switch out, but you can also just keep attacking with him because why not, he has some good attacks. And then you go onto Jinhsi and you do your full combo. Just like this, you do this, you do this. The 4 auto attacks. There we go. And you also do this. And I just remembered that I forgot to tell you to also use the echo skill before you start using Jinhsi's skill so that your skill damage can be boosted. So this is the end of the video. What to say about Jinhsi is that as of now, she is definitely the biggest damage dealer of the game. She has the biggest nuke. She can reach damage numbers that other characters cannot reach. Personally, she is my all-time favorite character on the game as of today. Obviously, there's still Jian and Cheng-Li behind, but Jinhsi is definitely my favorite character of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and you can also follow me on my socials. You can find the link in the description. I also have a Discord, so feel free to join that, and I'll see you guys into the next one. Bye bye.